What is up, people? We have here the Nintendo Super Famicom Junior boxed and the original Super Famicom boxed, and I decided to show you what they look like and how they compare. So here we go. This is a recent pickup, so you can consider this a pickup video if you like. There are some differences. This one is pretty, yeah, I don't see it often in Japan, so I was pretty excited to find a boxed version. So just a couple quick comparisons here. This is literally about half the size as this box. The width is about the same, and it only overlaps by about this much. So much more compact packaging. And we'll go ahead and open the first one, or I should say the original Super Famicom. This is my only boxed Super Famicom, and it's in decent shape. It's old, you know, so the styrofoam, every time I open it, a little bit more styrofoam dies. But I mean, it's very simple, this box. It's got the 4-color theme, and that's it. And as is often the case with Japanese game consoles, there's no pack-in game, especially Nintendo, no pack-in games. So this is it. As you can see, the styrofoam is, you know, getting old. So yeah, here are the controllers. It came with 2 standard Super Famicom controllers. And oh, I just noticed this, but this is in really good shape. There's very little discoloration. Even the sticker on the back is in pretty good shape, but I just now noticed that the eject button, I don't know if you'll be able to see, yeah, there's a little bit of yellowage happening there. That's something I can fix one of these days if I get around to it. It can be replaced with one that's in better shape. Right, but so there it is. That's what you get. And also, I just realized there's no manual in here, but that's, yeah, hold on a second. Okay, I'm back and something is stuck to my foot. What is it? Oh, it's a receipt. Wouldn't you know it? For video games. Huh, that I bought like, wow, what's the date on this? Almost a year ago. Alright, anyway. So, in an auction, I bought something and it came with a bunch of like little books and stuff, and it just happened to include these. So, we'll just go ahead and bloop, make that complete. Very nice. And awesome. So I'm almost afraid to put them here because they'll get smashed, but for the time being, that's what we're going to do. So there's that. And I'll be taking it out again to make comparisons. Sure, that's why the manual is kind of in the way. Now, onto this bad boy. This system actually, in a few ways, is inferior to the original Super Famicom. But it's cuter. I'm among the few, I think there are about 12 people in the universe, who prefer the look of the North American SNES to the Japanese Super Famicom, but whatever. You can hate on me if you want, it's cool. So this says here that it comes with the Super Famicom Junior Untitled Chapter. One machine, and then the controller, just one controller, and a manual, and that's it. Neither of these came with a AC adapter or an AV plug. So, and they tell you what you have to use to do it. But this one, they hooked me up with an AC adapter, which I will no longer be putting in this box. And this is actually not an original Nintendo AV plug. So we'll just set those aside. Right, so on to the good stuff. Actually, now this one, the bottom is just the styrofoam. This one, actually, the box has a cardboard bottom. Woo-hoo! And here's the machine. I think I did well because this machine looks almost like new. There are very few signs, if any, of use, even. I mean, it's pretty much in perfect condition. It does look like it's been plugged in before. Let's see kind of a line around where the plug was. but if you look inside the cartridge slot, it's lovely. So, and this is very similar obviously to the SNES Junior or Mini or 2 or whatever you want to call it. Except that here it's got obviously this inlaid plastic label Super Famicom, and these are not purple. And the slot is curved, so it can only accommodate curvy games like this one, which I got for $1 at Hard Off. What is this? Muscle Bomber. So the famous tight fit there. Okay. And then what else do you get in here? Here's the manual, which has been made to be less attractive. I guess while we're at it, might as well compare those. Why not? I don't expect I'll make this video again. So even the manual is smaller. Here's the original manual, kind of cool looking, and here's this kind of ugly Super Famicom Junior manual. Right? So yeah, and then the controller, as I said, it only comes with one, whereas the original came with two, is slightly different. Can you spot the differences? Okay, let's have a little comparison. The Nintendo label is just kind of carved into the controller. The font's a little different on the buttons, M&M's looking buttons. And select and start also are plastic rather than, I guess, ink. I don't know what else to call it. They're not painted on. The D-pad's basically the same. And then on the back, interestingly, the Japanese controller has its own model number, SHVC 005, whereas just like the American controller for the SNES 2, this says SNS 102. So interesting, they use the same mold, right, for both. But anywho, this is a different controller, and that's what came with this. Okay, so now you've seen all that. Now on to the consoles themselves. Set the box aside for a minute here. Here's another game. This was actually given to me by a good friend of mine. Thank you, good friend of mine. R-Type 3. Not a cheap game. Alright, so here they are side by side. And I think generally this, when it was new, was a little lighter shade of gray. Even a brand new Super Famicom is probably going to be pretty similar to this as far as the shade of gray. And stand them up. You can see there's a pretty big size difference there. Significantly on the back, the original, it's got a little styrofoam stuck in it from being in the box. Well, whatever, it's just styrofoam. Has, as you can see, an RF out, and then a multi-out, and then the other stuff that's standard. But the Super Famicom Junior just simply has what they've called the AV out, and they still call it the multi-out, I believe, on the SNES Junior, and the DC in, but there's no RF out. If you wanted to use RF, you had to use an N64 adapter. No channel changer either. This does not support S-video or RGB video output. This does. This has all the stuff inside to do it, but they just didn't basically wire it together so you could use it. I don't know why. I guess they saved a few pennies per unit that way, and they maybe figured most people didn't care that much. So anyway, I mean, that's it. Happy addition to my collection. Really happy to get it boxed, and lucky to have been able to find an extra manual laying around for that. So there you go, that's what they look like, and I'll end this video with another side-by-side comparison of the boxes with the consoles in front of them, just as a picture because it's getting long. So thanks for watching, and bye-bye!